All right, so we'll start by reviewing the last of our newer phonograms.
Short letters, use at the beginning of syllables after the first one.
All right, everyone, one more time.
Short letters, use at the beginning of syllables after the first one.
Better.
A-E that we do use at the end of English words.
One more time, it's got two sounds. What are they?
A-E that we do use at the end of English words. A-E that we do not use at the end of English words. Two-letter
Use
both
both.
at the beginning and the end of a base word.
Good.
U that we do use at the end of English
Good,
words.
so one more time. This one has two sounds. What are they?
U that we do use at the end of English words.
Good.
U that we do not use at the end of English words.
All right, nice job, class. Get out your practice paper and your orthography notebooks. Let's see which row could be ready first. Wow, some of us did that really quickly. Nice job. Well, that looks like it was about a tie. I couldn't quite tell if, I think maybe the second row was ready first. Nice job. All right, class, so what we're going to do is we're going to do kind of a super review. We've got our test tomorrow, and we need to put 3 lessons in our notebook, so it's going to be like a super review. We'll go really quickly. All right, so open to page 54, and give me a thumbs up when you're there. Oh, that was really fast, some of you. All right, so even though this is review, a big review for our test tomorrow, if you're not 100% sure, go ahead and do it on your practice paper first. But we want to be going really fast. It shouldn't take us very long to review all 3 of these lessons. All right, so our first one, so our top right hand, we're going to write N-6. What page are we supposed to be on? We need to listen, class. What page are we supposed to be on?
54.
54. All right. N-6 at the top. Our first word in that lesson is last. Class, oh, our pencil shouldn't be up yet. What's our first word?
Last.
Is there anything to remember for that?
No.
No, it's a closed syllable. Everything's saying its first sound, easy peasy. Write the sound, say them while you write them. If you finish that, class, last has an antonym. Don't shout it out yet. What is the antonym? What is the opposite of last? Everyone who knows, tell me. First, right? First. So later on, maybe we should go put first and last on our antonyms page. All right. So our first word was last. It's a closed syllable. Basic code. Nothing to remember or mark. Right. All right, our next word is group. We do have to remember something for this. We have to remember which ooh we use in group. Don't shout it out. Take 3 seconds to remember if you're not 100% sure. Class, which ooh do we use in group?
Ow, ooh,
Excellent. Say the sounds while you write them. All right, make sure you get all the markings on that ew. All right, and when we're finished writing it and marking it, our pencils are down. Class, which ooh do we use in group?
Ow, oh,
Good. Ow, oh, ooh, Remember, if we're doing it on our practice paper, and that means you're not 100% sure, wait till I put it up here, right? And then you can put it correctly in your notebook. All right, so in group, our ooh is ow, oh, ooh, And how do we need to mark our ow, oh, ooh, every time it says ooh? Ow, oh, ooh. All right, so it needs a 3 and an underline. All right. Our next word is strike. Strike. Class, how do we make our IE say I in strike? Everyone tell me.
silent final E, job 1.
And that means we have to use which k?
Line letter.
Good. Anytime there's silent final E job 1 and we want a k sound before it, it's always line letter k. All right, say the sounds in strike while you write them. And make sure that if every time we mark our word, we're starting at the beginning and marking everything we need to mark. I hope none of us are just marking that E. All right, so for strike, our I is at IE. So to make it say I, we have to use silent final E, and that means we have to use line letter. Make sure yours looks like this. All right, strike does not use edit. That means it's what kind of a verb?
Irregular.
Irregular, good. So the past tense of strike is struck. That's what's our word?
Struck.
Struck. But in struck, which k do we use?
2-letter.
We use only after a single vowel that says or Good. All right, write the sounds in struck. Say them while you write them. Well, thank you. If you're holding your notebook with the hand you're not writing with. All right, class. Which k? One more time. Which k do we use in struck?
2-letter. Use only after a single vowel that says or
Excellent. All right. All right, our next word is miss. All right, but not like the part of someone's name, not like miss somebody. It's I miss my mom when I don't get to talk to her, miss. All right, so miss, there's one thing we have to remember, and that's a rule we use at the end. Which rule do we use at the end of miss?
Floss.
Excellent, our floss rule. Go ahead and write miss. Say the sounds while you're writing them. Thank you, everyone who's using their most beautiful writing. always, but especially in our notebook. All right, class, so this miss is spelled the exact same way as someone's name, except it's not capitalized. All right, so we have to use our floss rule at the end. Say the floss rule with me. We often double F, L, or S after a single vowel at the end of a one-syllable word. Excellent. All right, now we're going to add a suffix to this. We're going to add ed-t to make it past tense. So our word will be missed. Class, what's our word?
Missed.
Missed, but remember it's this with our ed-t added. Go ahead and write missed. Say the sounds till you write them. All right, and wait, we're gonna need to put something on top of our ed-t. Wait, just so we know, what are the sounds, what are the three sounds of that phonogram?
Ed-t.
How are we gonna have to mark it? Missed. Saying its third sound. All right. The tricky thing about that is it kind of sounds like when there's a little bit of water in the air in the morning, right? Those are homophones. Mist and mist, they sound the same, but they're spelled differently. So we should put those on our homophones page 2 to help us keep them straight. We'll do that later. All right, the last word in this lesson is often, but often is a two-way word. How do we say often to spell it?
Often.
Often. We've got that sneaky silent letter in there. Often. Say the sounds till you write them and then mark it. Make sure you sing the sounds. Okay, don't let this bother you. We've got that silent letter. I'm going to give it the silent treatment. All right, class. So we say often when we're talking. How do we say that word to spell it?
Often.
Often. What's our first syllable? Off. And our second syllable? Ten. All right. What is our silent letter that we need to double underline? Good, Art. All right. Nice job, class. That was a terrific pace that we were going at. So we can keep going at that pace. Let's stand up and stretch for just a second. I'll need to erase this and get us moved up. All right, so we're down on the bottom left-hand corner now. So this is lesson N-7. All right. Our first word in this lesson is real. All right, we don't have to treat it like a two-way word, but which E, so don't shut it out, give everyone 3 seconds to remember. Which E do we use in real? Everyone?
E-F-A.
E-A, perfect, write it. Say the sound till you write it. All right, and then go ahead and mark it when you're finished. All right, class, which E did you use in real?
E-F-A.
E-F-A, excellent. Did you know that real also has a homophone where we use E-double-E? It's like, if the one thing I can think about is if you've ever gone fishing, I never have, but you say you reel in the fish. That's the other one, but this reel, as in not fake, we use E-A-A. All right, now we're going to add a suffix. Where we want to write really, so which suffix are we going to add?
Lee.
Lee, and which E do we always use in the suffix lee?
Yes.
Excellent. Say the sound so you write them. Oh, make sure it's 2 syllables. All right, nice job if you're marking it when you're finished. All right, and pencils are down when we're finished. All right, class, for really, what's our base word?
Real.
Real. And what's our suffix?
Lee.
Lee. Make sure yours looks like that. All right, our next word is a 2-way word. The word is important. How do we say it to spell it?
Important.
Important. Good. So what's our first syllable? Second? Third? Tant. Perfect. Say the sounds while you write them. Whatever you are doing, keep it up. What's our first syllable? What's our first syllable? Important. All right, class, just tell me syllable by syllable. What's the first one? All right, wait, sorry, I know I made it sound like you could keep going, but I remembered I need to pause you. Remember, it's im. Yesterday I saw a lot of important. I don't think it's important, it's important. All right. What's our second syllable? And our third one? Tant. All right, our only thing we need to mark here is this besides our thinking cap. What gets our thinking cap? A-A-A. All right. Our next word. Oh, I did not have us practice this, but I should have because this one is a homophone. There's actually 3 words that sound like this. This word is to. And oh, I can't believe I forgot to have us practice it earlier. All right, because a lot of us wrote the old to that we know, like I am going to the park. This one is spelled differently. You say, I was too tired to get up. Or I was too late to school to get breakfast. So that kind of to, do you remember which oo we used for that one? It's not our uh-oh-oo like our other 2. Class, what is it? Ooh, good. All right, write that too. And say the sounds while you write them. All right, so class, that kind of to, which oo do we use? Ooh, all right. So right now I know it's going to be kind of tricky to tell It might be hard to know which one to use. Just remember for this test, it's this kind of two. Right, it's harder when you're not thinking about a sentence that you want to write, but it's this kind of, so this is the two we'll have on our test tomorrow using oo, or. All right, our next word is add. Class, what's the word? Add. So this one, we don't just write the sounds we hear, we have to double something. We have to double, what do we have to double?
Duh.
Good, either duh, duh, or the last consonant. Those are both terrific answers. All right, so for add, we have to write an extra duh to make our word longer. All right, go ahead and write add. Say the sounds while you write them. And class, I think you told me this earlier, but if you're not sure yet, figure out which part of speech add is. We will add 4 numbers together. Add. We will add 4 numbers together. Class, what part of speech is add?
Verb.
Good, it's a verb. All right, we should put this on our verbs page because I have a bunch of blank spaces on my verbs page. We'll do that later. All right, make sure yours looks like this. Excellent. All right, our next word, last word in this lesson is page. All right, there's 2 things we have to remember for page. The first one is our A is A-A-ah. How are we going to make it say A?
Job 1.
All right, but that job 1 silent finally is doing another job in the word page. It's also doing job 3. What's silent finally job 3?
It makes
The C say S and the G say J. So in page, which J do we use? G, J. Excellent, right? Page, say the sounds while you write it. And mark it when you're finished. Class. So I think the trickiest thing that we have to remember for the word page is actually which J we use. So tell me one more time, which J do we use?
G.
J. Excellent. So it's actually kind of a super silent finally, because it's doing job 1 and job 3. Remember, we always just mark the first job it does. And that first job would always be job 1. I think there's only 2 jobs that can go together. The only super silent final E's would do job 1 and 3. Nothing else goes together, but sometimes we have silent final E's that do job 1 and job 3. All right, well that's it for this great job, class. All right, let's stand up and stretch one more time, and then we'll do our last lesson. Put it in our notebook. All right, so N-8 right at the top, very last list in the last lesson in the last list in our book. All right, our first word, and I'm going to try and pronounce it really correctly so it doesn't confuse you. Example. Class, what's our word?
Example.
What's our first syllable?
X.
Second?
And.
Third?
O.
What do you need at the end of your third syllable?
Final E, job 4.
All right, go ahead and write the sounds. Say them while you write them. Nice job. If we can try and make our letters more this size, that's going to be good so they're not so little. All right, and make sure you're saying the sounds when you write them. All right, class. Syllable by syllable. What do I need to write?
X.
All right. Right now, this is a silly syllable, right? We would say to it, silly syllable. You need a vowel. You need a vowel. All right, and that's the only thing we have to mark. Make sure yours looks like this. Excellent. All right, our next word is enter. Class, what's the word?
Enter.
It makes me so happy when you enter the room quietly. Enter. So what's our first syllable?
N.
And the second one?
Ter.
Which is it?
The
of her. Great. Say the sounds while you write them. Need a syllable break between our first and second syllables. All right, pencils are down when we're finished. What's our first syllable? N. And our second syllable? Good, and we're using our most common Thank you. If you have quiet feet, sorry, I find tapping feet, they make it so I can't think. Thank you so much. All right, our next word is the antonym of enter. But an antonym is a fancy word for a what? Oh, wait. Oh, some of you answered a question I hadn't asked yet. I had a question before I asked that. So an antonym is a fancy word for what?
Opposite.
Good. And antonyms are opposites. So what is the antonym of enter?
Exit.
Exit. What's our first syllable?
X.
X. And the second one?
It.
Say the sounds till you write them. All right, class, what's our first syllable?
X.
X. Just like in example. And our second one? It. Both of our syllables are what kind of syllable?
Love.
So there's nothing to mark. All right, our next word is one of my favorite words, dance. Class, what's our word?
Dance.
Dance. Now, the thing we have to remember for dance is that our s at the end is s. How do we make our s say s?
Silent E, job 3.
Job 3. Good. Remember, wait, say it with me before you write it. Silent final E, job 3 makes the C say s and the G say j. All right, go ahead and write dance. Say the sounds while you're writing it and then mark it. Thank you. Dance. Wait, which silent final E do we have at the end of dance?
Job 3.
Good. Job 3. Can you say one more time what job 3 does? Silent final E, job 3 makes the C say S and the G say J. And so, of course, we have to underline this because it goes with our silent final E. All right. Our next word is clear. Clear. Cambry has a clear water bottle. Clear. All right, class, which E do we use in clear? Excellent. Say the sounds so you write them. Thank you if you're holding your paper with the hand you're not writing with. I should have done that. All right, wait, one more time. Which E did we use in clear? E-A-A. And that's the only thing that we need to mark. Class, are you ready? This is our last word on our last lesson, on our last list in this book. All right, our word is, it's a two-way word. The word is cover. How do we say it to spell it?
Cover.
Cover, excellent. Say the sounds while you write them. All right, so make sure you marked it. Oh, nice job with the markings there. Sorry, I'll come get that in a second. All right, last word in our book. What is it? How do we say it to spell it?
Cover.
Cover. Make sure yours looks like mine. Oh my goodness, it's hard to believe that we've finished this whole book. All right, well, we've finished up what we didn't get to last year because of things being strange in last year. I think you should give yourselves a round of applause. Are you ready? Because you did all right, and stop. Thank you, everyone who stopped right away. All right, you did a fantastic job today reviewing these words. All right, so